Good afternoon, students. So, in the previous class, we have covered with the Hindu undivided family, its characteristics, advantages, and disadvantages. So, today we are going to discuss regarding the cooperative organization or cooperative societies. Okay. So, once you see over here, so in cooperative organizations, we have advantages and disadvantages. So, first we are discussing regarding the cooperative organization. See, cooperative societies are voluntary associations started with the aim of service to members. So why these cooperative societies are started means because they have started voluntarily. For what purpose they have started? For servicing the members. So that is the point over here. So actually, listen ma'am, actually these cooperative societies, why they have established, for what purpose they have established. Okay, so let us we will discuss as per the our act. See, the Indian Cooperative Society Act 1912 defines cooperatives in section 4 as a society which has its objective the promotion of economic interest of its members in accordance with cooperative principle. So this is the act which is given. Okay, Cooperative Societies Act in 1912, it defines nothing but this is a definition. Under section 4 they have given a definition of the cooperative societies. Okay, so actually what is the meaning of cooperative societies means nothing but the persons, they will form a voluntarily they will form, and they want to help the society. For helping the society, what they will do means they will join in that cooperative societies and they will become a members. So for becoming a members there is no force. For becoming a members there is no force, voluntarily they can join. Okay, so in India these cooperative societies started by weaker sections. Okay, for what purpose? For society, for protecting its members from the clutches of profit hungry businessmen. Okay, these cooperative societies have been started in India for protecting the weaker section people, nothing but for helping them from big businessmen. Okay, nothing but for helping them from large scale business, for helping to the small scale businessmen. Okay, so here what they in cooperative societies, actually what they will do means they will give certain amount to the members. Okay, they will give certain amount to the members, and what they will do, the members afterwards they will pay. Okay, so in installments they will pay to whom? These societies, for these societies. So here nothing but the persons or the members who are there in cooperative societies, they no need to go to the banks directly, they can take help from these cooperative societies. Okay, from these cooperative. So here one more definition I want to discuss with you. See here as per Real Mehta defines cooperation as one aspect of a vast movement which promotes the voluntary association of individuals having common economic needs who combine towards the achievement of the common economic end they have in view, and who bring into this combination, okay, a moral effort and a progressively developing realization for a moral obligation. So here what is the point over means nothing but why these cooperative societies are being started means, so here see, they will help the whom? To the poor people. They will help the poor people, or else weaker sections they will help. In what way they can help me? Nothing but to fulfill their economic needs. If suppose a person who want to start a small business, so here what happens means, if suppose he has gone to the banks, means what the banks will do, they will ask securities, all those things they will ask. Okay, those all things will be there. So if suppose he has gone to the cooperative societies, means here by taking a membership, okay, certain benefits will be there. If suppose he is not a member also, even he can take the amount from those cooperative societies and he can start the business, and later on he can pay that amount to whom? To the cooperative societies. Okay, so that is the point over here. Nothing but these cooperative societies are mainly started for developing this small scale businessmen. Okay, see, afterwards we'll start with the advantages of cooperative societies. So first one, advantage of cooperative, first one is open membership. Open membership is nothing but anyone can join, any person can join in this in cooperative societies. Okay, see here A membership of cooperative societies is open to each and every person. Nobody is barred from joining societies on the basis of economic position, caste, or color, or creed. Anybody wishing to enjoy the fruits of cooperative can join it. The number of members of a society may be limited to make it workable group, but members are not discriminated in any way. So here, for joining cooperative, there are no color, religion, caste, anything. Any person can join in the societies. Okay, service motto. So why this cooperative has started? Not for the profits, mainly for servicing, mainly for what purpose? For servicing. Okay, for servicing they have started these cooperative societies. Okay, so societies try to promote the interest of its members. The members are provided goods at cheap rates, and financial help is also given at concessional rates. A feeling of cooperation is created among the members. Okay, next one, supply of goods at a cheaper rates. So here cooperative, what societies, what they'll do is nothing but they will purchase the goods. They will purchase the goods from the farmer. Okay, directly they will purchase, and afterwards later on what they will do is they will store it, and later on they will sell those goods to whom? To the members, to the society members. Okay, or else to the outsiders also. Mainly for society members they will sell for a cheaper rates. Okay, why this? Because to eliminate the middlemen, okay, if suppose they are eliminating the middlemen, means automatically they will be getting a goods at a cheaper rate. Okay, next, democratic management. See here, the management of a cooperative is elected by the members from among themselves. So here the person who is managing the cooperative societies, okay, they are elected from the members only who are there in that society. So all members are given equal voting rights irrespective of the number of shares held by them. So all the members are equal in case of cooperative societies. Next, low management cost. So why it is a low management cost? Means, see, the management of a cooperative societies is in the hands of persons elected by the shareholders. Some persons are employed to look after day-to-day working of the societies. Members take active interest in working of the society, so the societies need not spend large amount of managerial or management personnel. So here what happens means, already see here, ma'am. So here actually what happens means the management person or the manager persons are selected from the society itself. Okay, so what happens means some members they will some persons are employed to look after day-to-day working of the societies. Okay, so by that what happens here, there will be a less cost. So why it is a less cost for management control? The members of the society itself are working in this organization. So by that what happens, no need to spend a heavy amount for employing the other person. The members itself, they will work in these organizations. So by that what happens, there will be a less management cost. Next, surplus shared by members. So surplus shared by members means nothing but if any surplus, okay, after selling the goods to the members, okay, if okay, by removing the nominal profit, they will be getting a certain. So they will be surplus shared by members. So these societies sell goods to the members on a nominal profit to cover up administrative cost. To cover up the administrative cost. Non-members are charged at market rates. The surplus earned by the society is distributed among members on the basis of their purchases. So some part of the surplus is spent on the welfare of the members. So all the profits of society, all the profits of the society are either distributed among the members or spent on their welfare. So what happens means here, some goods are sold to whom? To the members. If they are okay for members, they will sell at a cheaper rate. If suppose they can sell the goods to whom? To outsiders also. If they are selling the goods to outsiders, means they will sell at a nominal price only. So if any surplus is left over, so that surplus is if any surplus is left over, so some part is left over to the welfare of the members, and remaining profit is shared among the members. Okay, check on other business. So check on other business means all other forms of business are started with a profit motive, but cooperatives are started with a service motive. So sole trade, partnership, joint stock companies, those all started for what purpose? For profit motive, but cooperative societies are started with the aim of service motive. Okay, here when businessmen try to exploit consumers by raising prices of their commodities, cooperatives supply goods at a reasonable prices. Okay, so when businessmen, what they will do, as per the rates are increasing, Okay, as per the situation, if suppose they are increasing the rates of the commodities, means cooperatives, what they will do, they will provide the goods at a reasonable prices also. So this is a reference. Why? Because other business say the profits, and cooperative societies, they will look after the society. Okay, next, limited liability. So why there is a limited liability means, see, the liability of the members of cooperative societies is limited only to the extent of capital contributed by them. Okay, so here what happens means, even the liability of the members is limited, it is not an unlimited. So if suppose it is going under losses also, okay, the members liability will be only up to their share value, nothing but how much of capital they have contributed, only to that much it will be there. Next, stability and continuity. So here cooperative societies, it is a separate legal entity. Okay, they will be having separate registrations. Okay, so if suppose any manager, if any person, any member has died, or else he has gone under insolvency or lunatic, in that cases what happens means, no need to stop the society, even they can run the society, nothing but with the remaining members they can run the society over there. Okay, next, state patronage. State patronage means the main objective of government in the economic upliftment of the society. So the effort is to help the economically weaker sections of the society to get the goods and services at a reasonable prices. Okay, so the state government provides incentives and concessions to cooperative societies and encourages the opening of such organizations. So here state patronage. So what is the meaning of state patronage? Means here the government, what they want to increase the economy of our country. So for increasing the economy of the country, first of all they have to develop the weaker sections. First of all they have to improve economically, they have to improve the weaker sections. So for that purpose, these cooperative societies will be very useful. Why? Because they will provide the goods and services at a reasonable prices. Okay, that is called a state patronage. Next, social desirability. So here in case of cooperative societies, what happens is they will work hard for the weaker sections to improve them. For a group of persons contribute small amounts and start and get a society registered for providing goods and services at a reasonable prices. The surplus profits of these societies are distributed among the members of the society. So here what happens means, nothing but a group of people voluntarily they will contribute small amounts and they will start this society. After starting the society, what they will do, they will provide the goods at a reasonable rates. Why? Because they will sell the goods to whom? To the members, or even they can sell the goods to outsiders also. If our members, there will be a certain concession, so they will sell the goods to the members at a reasonable rates, and surplus which is left over, that is used for the society of the society, or else those who are there in society, for the members it will be useful. Next, employment opportunities. The societies create jobs for carrying out these activities. So to run the society compulsory some employees are required. So by establishing a cooperative societies, what happens, even it will provide an employment opportunity. To whom it will provide? To the outsiders it will provide. Okay, cooperatives established for sugar, spinning mills and in other areas create employment opportunities for large number of persons. Okay, so these are the 12 advantages. Okay, these are the 12 advantages in case of cooperative societies. Okay, so next topic we are going to discuss in the next class we are going to discuss with the disadvantages or limitations of cooperative societies. Okay.